Mundakopanishad. In our previous class, Swamiji explained mantras 8 and 9 in chapter 3, section 1. This evening, Mrs. Manju Nandakumar will chant the 8th, 9th, and 10th shlokas from Annapurneshwari Stavam. Manju?
Hari Om, thank you. Hari Om, Swamiji. Devi sarva vichitra ratna rajita dakshayani sundari Vama swadupayodhara priyakari saubhagya maheshwari Bhaktabhishtakari sada shubhakari Kashi puradhishwari Vikṣam dehi kripāvalambanakari Madānnapurneshwari Chandrarkanala kodi kodi sadrishi Chandram shubhimbadhari Chandrarkagni samana kundaladhari Chandrarkavarneshwari Mala pustaka pasha sangushadhari Kashi puradhishwari Vikṣam dehi kripāvalambanakari Madānnapurneshwari Kshatrastranakari Mahabhayakari Mata Kripasagari Sarvanandakari Sadashivakari Vishveshwari Sridhari Dakshakrandakari Niramayakari Kashi puradhishwari Vikṣam dehi kripāvalambanakari Madānnapurneshwari. Hari Om.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaः Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajtraः Sthirairangaistuštuvamsastanobhir Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vriddhashravaः Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaः Swasti na Starkshyo Arishtanemi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh. In our last satsanga, we had seen the 8th and 9th mantras in the first khanda of the third Mundaka. There it was said, Na chakshusha grihyate, napi vacha, na anyaihi devaihi tapasa karmanava. This Atman cannot be realized through these senses of cognition, organs of action, and the inner instruments, that is the mind and intellect. That is the instruments we are having with us for attaining knowledge or getting objects. It won't work there. It won't help in acquiring Atmajnana. Then comes the question, what about tapas? Then Shruti says, na tapasa. Through tapas, that is observing austerities in our life. Of course, we can make our mind pure and intellect sharper, but through that we cannot realize the Atman. Then comes the next question, what about karma, satkarma, good deeds in life? No, that also will not take you to the knowledge of or the realization of Atman. So what ways are at a disposal? They won't help. There the seeker asks, if it is the case, how can I get the knowledge? How can I have a Atma Sakshatkara? Then Shruti says, by virtue of knowledge, jnana prasadena, viśuddhasattvaḥ, one of pure intellect, pure mind, he realizes that. How? Nishkalam dhyayamanaha. One who is contemplating on the nishkalam. Nishkalam means limbless, without any parts. Without any parts means the whole, the purna, the akhanda. This mantra we had seen in detail. Then the ninth mantra said, Eshaha anuhu. Eshaha atma anuhu. This Atman is subtle, subtler than the subtlest. And it should be realized. See, it is not a thing to be talked about. One can deliver long lectures on Atman, quoting 100,000 mantras from different Upanishads. And in a most refined manner, one can explain what Atman is. But it never means he is having that realization. One can speak from books. One can write volumes and volumes on Atman. But it never means he is realized. It means this much only. He had the book knowledge. He had the paroksha jnana. Of course, paroksha jnanam is great. There is no doubt in that. But one who is having this paroksha jnanam will not have jivan mukti in this life. So it is said, this is to be realized. This is to be known. Not to be spoken of. It is to be known. In which or in whom pranaha panchadha saṃvivesha. The prana, the jivatma, or the vital force has entered fivefold. Fivefold means prana, apana, samana, udana, and vyana. See, in the Kathopanishad, there is a mantra, na pranena na apanena martyo jivati kaschana. Itarena tu jivanti yasmin etau upāsritau. Such a mantra is there in the Kathopanishad. That means a man is not living by prana or apana. But by another, in whom both this prana and apana are established. Upāsritau. Yasmin etau upāsritau. In whom prana and apana are established, in that, by that we are existing here. What is that? That is the Atman, in whom even prana is established. So it is said here also, yasmin pranaha panchadha saṃvivesha, fivefold prana. That is prana in the form of prana, apana, samana, udana, and vyana are established. Here it is said saṃvivesha, entered. Entered means entered and being established. So this is the substratum or the very base on which even the prana is, based on prana is working. It is giving existence to prana. Pranaihi chittam sarvam otam prajanam. By prana, our inner instruments, that is the manas, the buddhi, etc., are interwoven. Otam means interwoven. Yasmin viśuddhe vibhavatyesha atma. When this mind, when this intellect is purified, then Atman is realized. Vibhavatyesha atma, it is not something to be known outside, but it should be realized within. It will reveal itself when the mind is pure. So our work is to make the mind pure, make the intellect sharper. And for that, all the karmas and all the upasanas are enjoined. Shastra asks us to perform different karmas and to undergo different upasanas. For what? The answer is very simple, as Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, Chittasya shuddhaye karma. All the karmas enjoined in our shastras are for purifying the mind, not for getting knowledge, not for acquiring knowledge. No. When the mind is pure, esha atma vibhavati. This Atman is revealed. It gets revealed. So this mantra also, in our last sitting we had seen. Today we are going to the 10th mantra. Yam yam lokaṃ manasā saṃvibhāti viśuddhasattvaḥ kāmayate yāṃśca kāmān tam tam lokaṃ jayate tāṃśca kāmān tasmād ātmajñaṃ hyarcayetbhūtikāmaḥ yam yam lokaṃ manasā saṃvibhāti viśuddhasattvaḥ kāmayate yāṃśca kāmān tam tam lokaṃ jayate tāṃśca kāmān tasmād ātmajñaṃ hyarcayetbhūtikāmaḥ. Yam yam lokaṃ manasā saṃvibhāti kah viśuddhasattvaḥ yān kāmān kāmayate ca yān kāmān kāmayate ca tam tam lokaṃ tān kāmān jayate tasmād ātmajñaṃ hi archayetbhūtikāmaḥ. See, normally in this world, all of us are living and working, performing all our duties, all our deeds for getting happiness. Everybody wants happiness. All our activities are for getting happiness, getting rid of sorrows and attaining happiness. It is the goal of all beings. And for that, we are running after different objects of the world. If I get this, I will have happiness. If I get that, I will have happiness. In search of that, we are running after objects constantly. And some tidbits and bits of happiness we are getting. And of course, for getting that much sorrow we are having. And when we lose that, then also sorrows will come inevitably. But still in the middle, there is a sort of some experience which we call ourselves, oh, I'm happy. And for that, all the beings are running after. Sometimes getting, sometimes not getting. But see, a man of knowledge, a man of realization, he is full within. He is full within. He is not running after any objects for his happiness. But all the objects of happiness behind which the whole world are running, they themselves enter or wish to enter into the man of knowledge. Just like, see, ocean. It is full. Ocean is not asking any river to come and be a part of me. I want to happy by embracing you. No. Ocean is standing still. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham. I don't know whether is it correct to use fully filled. Apuryamana. You cannot fill it anymore. Apuryamana. And achala pradishtham. It is achala pradishtham. Pradishtham itself is achalam. When we say pradishtham, it is achalam. But Bhagavan says achala pradishtham. Huh? See that? What is achala pradishtham? Achalam is immovable. Achalam immovable. Pradishtham means standing without any movement. So it is ocean is filled fully, without any movement it is there. It is not calling any river to come and join. But to that ocean, all the rivers are flowing and entering. Please take me, please take me. I wish to be a part of you. Ocean is not calling anybody, inviting anybody, no. But all the rivers are flowing. How quickly, you see? How fastly they are flowing. For what? For being a part of ocean and disappear in that. Their names disappears, their forms disappears, their individuality itself disappears. And be a part of ocean. In the same way, all the objects of enjoyments they will enter into a man who is not at all inviting anything. There is a let us remember a part from Chandogya Upanishad. Once two birds were flying. They were fastly flying. And am I audible? Are you hearing me?
Yes, Swamiji.
There was some disturbance here.
Yes, we can hear you. It is very clear.
Yeah. So once two birds were flying, and it happened they were flying above the palace of one king. The name of the king was Janashruti. So one bird asked the other bird, you be careful, because we are flying above the palace of the king, who is a great man, having much tapas. And because of his tapas, we may get our wings burned. So be careful. Then, with all smile, the other bird replied, oh, what do you know about him? Have you heard of Raikwa? Whatever virtuous deeds are being performed by the whole humanity, not by one person, not by two persons, by the whole humanity, the punya, the result of those karmas will reach Raikwa. Raikwa is not running behind any object. He do not want any enjoyment of the world. But the effect of all virtuous deeds, the whole humanity does, that goes to Raikwa. Not only that, one who knows that, it's a complex sentence. Let me try to translate into English because it's a very complex sentence. So that it can be translated like this: that which that Raikwa knows, one who knows that, he also will get that punya. That means if somebody knows that which Raikwa has realized, he also get the result of all the virtuous deeds of all humanity without doing such karmas. See that? At that time, the king of that palace was on the top floor, and he heard this conversation between these birds. Then the very next day, king called his ministers and messengers and asked them to find out who is this Raikwa. Go everywhere and see who is this Raikwa. So everywhere in all directions, the messengers of king traveled, and finally they saw a man on the side of a market under a bullock cart, sitting under that bullock cart. He was scratching his skin as if he is having some itches. So he is scratching his skin. So the ministers went to the king and reported, as we have found him out. He is in that market. Hearing that, the king took 1,000 gold coins and all such materials to worship Raikwa, and prostrated and asked him to teach him the Brahma Vidya. Teach me. Immediately, the Raikwa shouted, "O Shudra, go away, get lost." See, Raikwa knew that who came near me is the king of the country. Being a king, he is a Kshatriya. There is no doubt in that. But even after knowing that, Raikwa shouted, "O Shudra, you get lost, go away." Then with all sorrow, the king returned to his palace. Then he took his daughter, the only daughter, and 1,000 gold coin, and half the kingdom, and asked Raikwa, "Please teach me." So seeing all these materials, Raikwa said, "Then you sit, I will teach you." And he taught. This is the story. Don't ask what he did next. Did he marry his daughter? No, don't ask, because he is not in need of anybody or anything. Raikwa don't want the daughter of the king. Raikwa don't want the half kingdom. Raikwa don't want 1,000 gold coins. But to see fullest dedication and surrender. When he saw that, then he taught. So this is a piece of parable we can get in the Chandogya Upanishad. What does this shows? It shows a man of realization gets everything, whether he want it or not. Yam kāmāṃ manasā saṃvibhāti. Whatever objects of enjoyments he wished to have or just imagine inside, they will come automatically to him. He need not desire anything. I want that much money, or I want that woman, or I want that wealth. I want this, I want that position. No. But if we imagine just within, all these objects will reach him flying. Therefore, in the Chandogya Upanishad it is said, yatha kāmachāro bhavati. An atmajnani, man of realization, will become yatha kāmachāraha. Yatha kāmachāraha means whatever he desires, he will get that. Whatever object he imagines, he will get that. There is no doubt at all. If he wants to reach heaven, he will reach heaven. If he wants to get some money, he will get that money. If he wants to get a man, he will get that man. If he wants to get that woman, he will reach there. With a prayer, please take me, please take me. The meaning is, he becomes yatha kāmachāraha. Not that he wish this and that. He do not have any wish. No wants are there. He has transcended all needs and wants. But to show the yatha kāmachāra, whatever he wish, he will get that. To show that, Upanishad explains in details. This explanation we can have in the Chandogya Upanishad. But here also it is said, yam lokaṃ manasā saṃvibhāti. Whichever world, whichever lokaṃ, he desires with his mind. Manasā. Manasā means with the mind. Saṃvibhāti. Just imagine. Not that is desire. He need not desire. If he is imagining Vaikuntha, for example, he will get Vaikuntha. If he imagine Kailasa, he will get Kailasa. If he imagine a kinghood, then he will get kingdom. There is no doubt in that. And therefore, our Shastra says, he is apta kama, fulfilled. All desires. Now, no more desire is there. Apta kama. So, yam lokaṃ manasā saṃvibhāti. Whichever lokaṃ is imagined by him, not desired, imagined. Saṃvibhāti. Yān kāmān kāmayate. And which type of enjoyments he wants to have. What type of enjoyment he want to have? Tān kāmān, those enjoyments, jayate, he wins. He wins. Yam lokaṃ manasā saṃvibhāti viśuddhasattvaḥ, one of pure intellect. And therefore, a realized person. Because it was said in the earlier mantra that when one person becomes a viśuddhasattvaḥ, then saṃvibhāti, Atma, it will itself reveal. Atma will get revealed to him. So viśuddhasattvaḥ invariably means one man of knowledge, one of realization. So for him, this is the effect. Whatever he imagines, that he gets. Tasmād, therefore, this is the advice of Shruti. This is the advice of the Shruti. Tasmād, therefore, bhūtikāmaḥ, he who desires bhūti, bhūti is greatness. One who desires greatness in one's own life, he must worship hyarcayetbhūtikāmaḥ, knower of self, knower of Atman. In simple language, we can say, therefore, Atmajña, a realized one, must be worshipped by a man who desires greatness in his life. One who is desiring to have greatness in this life. What is the way for him? Go and worship a man of knowledge. There is no difference between Ishvara and man of knowledge. Ishvaro gururatmedi murti bheda vibhagine. Ishvara, Guru and Atma, all are one and the same. So there is no difference between Guru and Ishvara. And this Upanishad itself says, Brahmaveda Brahmaiva Bhavati. One who realizes the Brahman is Brahman itself. He is no more the knower of Brahman. He is no more the knower of Brahman, but he is Brahman itself. The knower of Brahman is Brahman itself. Therefore, one who desires to have greatness in this life, what he should do? He must worship a man of knowledge. And this is our tradition. This is the tradition of Bharat. Even the kings, even the emperors, they will go and worship knowers of truth. Of course, everybody will respect a king, but will not worship a king. Will respect, will consider him with all honor. We will call rulers and powerful people as we will consider them as honorable, respectable. Sometimes we may call His Excellency this, that, but never worshipful. Never. Worship is always towards Ishvara, towards man of knowledge. The emperor will go and worship one who may not be having even a dress to wear. He may be sitting like a madman. He may be moving around as if he is a lunatic or a child or a man of ignorance. He may be moving like that. Moodhavadu, Murkhavadu, Unmattavadu, Shishuvadu, Brandavadu. He may be moving. But if he is a man of knowledge, even the emperor will go and worship him. That is the tradition of Bharat. In all our shastras, itihasas, puranas, dharma shastras, we can see that. Always we were and we are worshipping men of knowledge. Man never means male. There is no question of male or female. No. Always we worshipped knowledge. Always. So it is clearly said in this piece of mantra, tāṃśca hyarcayetbhūtikāmaḥ. This is a common advice to the world. Therefore, one who desires to have greatness in this life must worship a man of knowledge. Must worship. Even if we are not worshipping, don't go and criticize. Upanishad asks us to worship. But even if we are not worshipping, don't go and criticize. This always we have to keep in mind. Nahi vaishishu pathya paribhava. It is not at all good to do anything bad against a great man. So worship them always. So this is the teaching of this mantra. So here it is said, first it was said, he is now yatha kāmacāraha. That means he gets what he imagined. Whatever he imagined in this life itself, he will get that. And he is to be worshipped just as we are worshipping Ishvaras. How we are worshipping Ishvara? In the same way, we have to worship a man of knowledge. This is the 10th mantra. And with this, the first khanda is completed. Now we can go to the second khanda. But before going, if anything is to be discussed, or if you want to ask anything, we can keep time for that. And we can start the next khanda in our next class, if anything is to be asked. Otherwise, we can go to the next khanda.
Nobody raised hand, Swamiji. We can go to next khanda.
So next is a natural continuation of this khanda. Here in the third Mundaka, we are seeing different ways of manana and how one who is undergoing the Shravana, Manana, Sadhana path, he will reach at the final realization and what greatness he is reaching at. All these topics are being discussed in the last khanda, and the same we can see in this khanda also. See the first mantra, vedaitatparamaṃ brahma dhāma yatra viśvaṃ nihitaṃ bhāti śubhram upāsate puruṣaṃ hyakāmāste śukrametadativartanti dhīrāḥ. vedaitatparamaṃ brahma dhāma yatra viśvaṃ nihitaṃ bhāti śubhram upāsate puruṣaṃ hyakāmāste śukrametadativartanti dhīrāḥ. Saveda edad paramam brahma dhāma. Saha, he. Here in the last mantra, we had discussed about a man of realization. Who is a man of realization? And what is his greatness? How he should be worshipped? How he transcends all the limitations? All these subjects were discussed in our last part. So here, when we say saha, he, it invariably means the man of knowledge, man of realization. So he who is having that realization, saveda, he knows. He knows. What? Edat paramam brahma. This paramam brahma. This paramam brahma, the supreme or the absolute Brahman. He knows that. The man of knowledge, one who knows the Atman, he knows the Brahman. Why? Because Atman and Brahman are not two entities. Atma cha Brahma. Atma is Brahman and Brahman is Atma. There is no difference at all. And therefore, knower of Atman is knower of Brahman. Saveda edat paramam brahma. Paramam, the ultimate, or the absolute, or the supreme, final. Brahman, he knows that. Yatra, in which, or in whom, viśvaṃ bhāti śubhram. Viśvaṃ, all the manifestations. All the manifestations are nihitaṃ bhāti śubhram. Nihitaṃ is established. Or is resting. Not only resting, bhāti is shining. Bhāti means is shining. We can say shines, in which the world shines. All the manifestations are shining. In which? How? Śubhram, with all brightness. With all brightness. Śubhram means bright. Śubhram bhāti means is shining with brightness. So, one who is knowing Atman, he knows the absolute Brahman in which all the worlds, viśvaṃ, all the worlds or all the manifestations are shining with all brightness. That means Brahman is that absolute existence in which all the worlds are resting. All manifestations are established. It is the substratum of all. It is the very base in which all are manifesting. Whatever phenomena are there, all the phenomena are coming and staying for some time and then disappears. So appearance and disappearance, that is there for all manifestations. And from which all these are manifesting, and in which all are resting, and unto which all are dissolving, or in which all are disappearing. To which dissolving, or in which disappearing. What is that? That is Brahman. That is the absolute existence. He knows that. So one who is knowing the self, he knows that. Akamāha, men without any desires, men devoid of all desires. Akamāha. Yam puruṣaṃ upāsate, are worshipping whom? Which Purusha? All akamas are worshipping. So akamas are worshipping. Normally, sakamas will worship for getting this and that objects of enjoyments. For getting this, for getting that, for getting heaven, for getting this position, money, fame, man, woman, everything. Sakamas are worshipping. But akamas, those who do not have any desires, whom do they worship? They worship the ultimate existence, the absolute existence, which we call Brahman. So, upāsate puruṣaṃ ye hyakāmāha. Ye hyakāmāha. Those without any desire. Without any desire, they are worshipping that absolute existence. They, that means those who are worshipping the absolute, not for any benefit, because they are akamas. Sakamas will worship for this and that benefit. But akamas, they are not worshipping, they are worshipping not for any benefit, because they are akamas. They desire nothing. So what do they get? They śukrametadativartanti. They transcends. Ativartanti means transcends. Go above. Śubhram. Śubhram is semen. Puruṣa bija is semen. Edat śubhram. Through śubhram, through semen, we are rotating in the transmigratory cycle, entering into the womb, then coming out of mother, then living in this world. Then after leaving, again enters the semen, again the womb of the mother, again the world. So the cycle of transmigration is continuing. So it is said here, they śukrametadativartanti. They transcends the śubhram. See, the term shukra comes in different meanings. Sometimes the meaning will be white. Sometimes the meaning will be pure. Sometimes the meaning will be Brahman. Brahman itself. For example, in the mantra, śukrametadativartanti, there the meaning of Śukram is the pure Brahman. So, according to the context, we have to take the meaning. Here it is said, te śukrametadativartanti. That transcends the Śukram. So here we have to take it to mean the semen. So that means they transcends the transmigratory cycle, the samsara. Who are they? Dhīrāḥ. They are the dhīrās. Only dhīrās can do that. Who is a dhīrā? Dhīra is one who has controlled his mind and intellect. Dhiyam rāti iti dhīra. Dhiyam rāti. One who has controlled his own mind and intellect is a dhīra. Normally, in the common language of the world, we will translate as courageous one. Dhīra is a courageous one, having courage. What is that courage? Courage to control oneself. If we cannot control ourselves, we cannot control anybody. We cannot face any odds of the world. When we happen to be in difficult situations, if we cannot control ourselves, we cannot face that. So dhīra is one who can control his own mind and intellect. That is the meaning of dhīra. See? So dhīras, one who has full control over his own instruments, he transcends this samsara. How? After realizing the ultimate reality. So here, if we look once more in that mantra, we will see the highest teaching of the Upanishad there. Because in the last part, the Upanishad is described about an Atmajnani, one who knows the self. And here in this mantra, it is said, sa vedaitatparamaṃ brahma. He realizes or he knows the absolute Brahman, in which all the manifestations are residing, are resting. So what is the meaning? The meaning is Atman is Brahman. The highest teaching of the Upanishad, that is Advaita. Atma and Brahman are not different entities. They are one and the same, but observed from different angles. When we are looking from the microcosmic aspect, we call it Atma or Jiva. When we view the same existence absolute from the macrocosmic level, we call it Brahman. Both are one and the same. So this oneness, this Atma Brahmaikyam, oneness of Atman and Brahman is taught here. And one who knows that oneness, he will transcend the samsara. And add the last part of our last mantra to that, such a man must be worshipped by all. So these are this last mantra of first khanda and the first mantra of second khanda. I think now we can conclude here today. So it is said, one who has controlled his own mind and intellect will reach the highest. What is the case of one who do not have that control, who cannot control his own senses? What is his fate? Where he will reach? That will be discussed in the next mantra. That we will see in our next sitting. If you want to ask anything, you can ask. Don't make any questions.
Swamiji, I have a question.
Yeah.
Pranam, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste.
So, Swamiji, it says there is a worship. So, what sort of worship? What is the meaning of worship there? How do we worship?
That's a very
Nice man.
difficult question, because see how we are worshipping Ishvara. When Ishvara is not something to be worshipped, we worship through different devatas. We worship through different devatas. We worship Vishnu, we worship Agni, we worship Vayu by offering different objects which we consider as great. By such offering, we are worshipping. We are doing all upacharas. Now, here, Shruti asks us to worship a man of knowledge. Then comes the question, how is that worship? It may change from situation to situation. In the ultimate level, we must say, hear from him and lead a life as per his teachings. Because, see, rishis who are fulfilled and who are akamas, they don't want anything. They don't want any worship. They don't want any puja. Nothing. They are living in this world. They are teaching in this world just out of inner love and compassion. Their whole life is for giving this light to the world. So the greatest worship we can do for them, offer for them, is have that knowledge which they are giving. Because they are living in this world for that. They are living in this world just for disseminating that knowledge. So having that quest within and doing shravana, manana, that will be the greatest worship. There is no doubt in that. Now come to the next level, when we are staying with a guru and studying. We will offer all sorts of seva. How? With a worshipful mind. I am worshipping Ishvara. My guru is the embodiment of Ishvara. He is knowledge embodified. So with that respect, whatever we do, it may be giving a cup of water. It may be doing some personal seva for him. All this will naturally turn to worships. Not that that term must not be taken in the physical sense. When we take it in the physical sense, we may trouble that man. Because that guru also is a man. Man means man, or either man or woman. There was a famous incident. It was an incident, it was much famous. One great Acharya, who was the manifestation of knowledge itself, he was traveling, and after a long travel, he reached at a place. He had a program there. So he went to the place of that program, and just near to that, there was a house of his devotees. They were great devotees. So this man of knowledge reached there after a long travel. He was in need of water. More than that, he was to attend the call of nature. And only because of that, he went to that devotee's house. Then, seeing that great blessing, what blessing? Our great Acharya has come. The couple who were owners of that house, they stopped him, took different types of lamps, and after doing arati, they called him inside. Come, Mahatman, you please sit here. This man, he was in need of attending the calls of nature. But they made him sit there. They went inside. In the puja room, there was his photograph, a big photograph. And they started detailed puja with all the upacharas. Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya, everything. This man was sitting here without water. He very badly wanted to drink some water. They didn't give. They gave to the photograph. So that also is a worship. We worshipped our Guru. Guru, Priyadam. So we must not take the verbal meaning of this worship. The greatest worship is studying, doing what the Guru teaches. Next come the next level, and all sorts of puja according to situation, circumstances, that we cannot definitely say this is worship, this is not worship. Namaste, namaste. It was a good question. So very good. Now we can conclude, I think.
There is a question in the chat, Swamiji.
What is that?
Asked by Shrija Vijay. Pranamam Bhagavan. How can we distinguish such a man?
Vidvaneva vijanadi vidvajjana parishramam. Only a man of knowledge will realize who is a man of knowledge. Katham vandhya vijayaniyad gurvim prasava vedana. One who never gave childbirth, she cannot know the pain of childbirth. In this life, I cannot know, because this is in the form of a man, a male. So I can imagine this much pain may be there. So it is not easy to understand a man of knowledge. It is very difficult. I am coming here. I am taking classes here. Here we are studying Mundakopanishad. We are speaking much about Atman and Brahman. That never means I am a man of knowledge. No. It means this much only. This man had studied Upanishad. Only that. So it is very difficult to know that. But now comes to the answer part. If we are real seekers, let me repeat once more. If we are real seekers and slowly cultivate the sadhana within, yama, niyama, etc., viveka, vairagya, shama, dhamma, etc., if we are having that sadhanas, even in small amounts, and if we are truthful to ourselves, that is the main point. If we are truthful to ourselves, not posing as somebody else, no window dressing, nothing. If we are truthful to ourselves, then there is no doubt we will realize this is a man of knowledge. There is no doubt in that. Somebody from within will tell us. But for hearing that voice, we must have the sadhana with us. We must have a minimum purity of mind. If that minimum purity of mind is there, and vairagya, viveka, etc. are there, then on the very sight of a man of knowledge, our intellect will say, not intellect, somebody from within will say, Eshaha vai sarvam bhakshyati. This man will answer to all our questions. How they realized? This piece of mantra comes in the Prashnopanishad. Eshaha vai sarvam bhakshyati. This man will reply to all our questions. Just on the sight of Vipalada, that knowledge came down into their mind. How? Because they had that receptivity. If we have that receptivity, then we will realize. There is no doubt in that. Otherwise, even after seeing Bhagavan Bhashyakara himself, we may go and ask, have you ever seen a man of knowledge? Of course, I have heard in olden days, there were many scholars. But are they even now? We will ask directly to Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Shankaracharya. Because we may have our own yardsticks to measure. And therefore, the clear and pure answer is this much. Be a sadhaka. Be truthful to oneself. Then we will realize just at the sight of a great man. There is no doubt in that. This is the answer. So we cannot measure a jnani, but we can be a sadhaka. If we are becoming that, there is no doubt we will realize. That is the answer. Namaste. Now we can conclude. Namaste, namaste. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaः Bhadram Pashyemakshabhirya Jatraः Sthirairangai Stushtuvam Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vriddhashravaः Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaः Swasti nastarkshyo arishtanemi. Swasti no brihaspatirdadhatu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu. Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, from this December 23rd, we are having Adhyatmika Antaryoga, that is the annual retreat in the ashram, Advaithashramam. The inaugural ceremony is at 5 o'clock in the evening on 23rd December. That is Monday. And the program will last up to the midnight of 29th. Daily from morning 5:30 to night 9:30, there will be programs continuously. Kirtanas, bhajans, then Shankara Bhashya sessions based on the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. After that, there will be daily 3 lectures based on the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita by different acharyas. Then there will be group discussions. In the evening, there will be bhajans. Then night, question and answer sessions. Those who are interested, they can come and attend. All are welcome. Those who are coming can go back on 30th. So, many of the audience are from farthest places, so they cannot come. But those who can attend, of course, all are welcome. Namaste.